The HTC One M8 shook the smartphone industry with its beautiful design and craftsmanship. Never before, a smartphone featured an amazing aluminum unibody construction and dual front-firing speakers. HTC is the only smartphone maker that tends to set the highest standards for its smartphone's hardware design. In this episode of Gadget Review, meet the next masterpiece from HTC, the One M8. HTC has been through an extremely tough year. Despite having disappointing sales figures and legal issues, the company hasn't disappointed us with the One M8 this year. The One M8 features an improved design language from its predecessor, with slightly rounded corners, a glossy aluminum chassis with hairline finishing, and maintains the same zero-gap construction design and curved back that makes the phone extremely comfortable to hold in one hand. The One M8's design isn't one that can be easily defeated. Similar to other flagships announced early this year, the One M8 has a Snapdragon 801 2.5GHz quad-core CPU, 2GB of RAM, 16GB of internal storage supporting microSD expansion, 5-inch Full HD SLCD3 display with Corning Gorilla Glass 3, 4 ultra-pixel rear camera with a secondary camera that measures depth of field, 5-megapixel front-facing camera, Wi-Fi 802.11ac, Bluetooth 4.0, NFC, IR Blaster, supports LTE and DC HSPA+ networks, and maintains the same 2600 mAh battery. The phone utilizes the same display technology as the One M8, which has natural-looking colors, decent viewing angles, and visibility outdoors. Most notably, touchscreen response has been dramatically improved on the One M8. You get to feel the difference instantly when you start performing the first swipe gesture. The One M8 uses on-screen function buttons instead of capacitive ones, making space for its boom sound speakers and increased usability for its huge 5-inch display. Such design enables us to use the phone one-handed effortlessly. The HTC One M8 software isn't too different from its predecessor, which also runs on Android 4 default KitKat with HTC Sense 6. The latest iteration of Sense introduces a refined and refreshing experience. If you come from a previous HTC smartphone, you will feel at home with Sense. Coming from another smartphone, Sense will blow you away with its extremely responsive and snappy performance. System apps from HTC looks as polished as ever with its clean fonts and consistent operational methods. Apps like Phone, Mail, Calendar, and Browser has some great intuitiveness on it, which can't be put into words until you really experience it. We specifically like the Mail app, which is always fast and loads our emails beautifully with no lags. The Messages app now includes a secure inbox, which is password protected to keep your messages away from prying eyes. On the One M8 review, we complained the lack of HTC's widgets on the latest version of Sense, and sadly, Sense 6 doesn't have any additional widgets that we find useful. Instead of a card or tile-based interface, HTC's BlinkFit has got a new flatter design. Managing contents to show on BlinkFit has also been simplified and more straightforward this time. HTC has introduced Motion Launch on the One M8, which technically lets you do things with the phone by performing one-handed actions. Trust us, this can be a love and hate affair, but we certainly won't call them gimmicks. Assuming the screen is locked, you can double tap on the display to show the lock screen, swipe up to unlock the phone, swipe down to activate voice commands, swipe left to reveal the main home screen, swipe right to reveal BlinkFit. Turn the phone to landscape and press the volume button activates the camera. When a phone call comes in, simply lift the phone to your ear and start talking. The problem about this feature is that the phone's display accidentally turns on at times while it's in your pockets, which can be pretty annoying. Despite not having Beats audio enhancement this time, we are happy to report that audio quality has improved dramatically from the One M8 with richer dynamics and refined bass in headphones. The amazing boom sound speakers also sounded louder with crispier sound quality. The One M8 uses the same ultra-pixel camera hardware found on its predecessor, which sadly takes pictures in the same 4-megapixel resolution. This time, a secondary camera known as the dual camera is found above the main shooter for measuring depth of field in pictures. Pictures taken with the ultra-pixel camera yield similar results to the One M8, with great color saturation and detail in pictures. At times, the camera tends to overexpose pictures and has metering issues in low light. You'll need to perform some manual controls to get the perfect shot. It isn't a problem to geeks like us, but for the majority, it isn't straightforward. do head over to our post to check out sample pictures. The One M8 records videos in 1080p Full HD resolution. Thanks to its rich audio recording microphone, the phone is able to record loud environment volumes undistorted. This time, the camera isn't just a point-and-shoot camera like any other smartphones. Thanks to the dual camera, which is activated automatically upon launching the camera app, we can do U-focus, a feature that allows us to refocus on the subject that we want in our picture to create a bokeh effect. Apply foreground effects to make our subject stand out. Apply seasonal effects to create a sentimental feel and make your photos look 3D with the 3D dimension feature. Unfortunately, the dual camera only works with HTC's camera app and won't work in third-party photography apps. The One M8 features an awesome wide-angle 5MP front-facing camera, which takes awesome selfies even in low light. Lastly, the Gallery app still features the awesome video highlight we have loved back on the One M7. System performance isn't an issue on the HTC One M8. We get pretty high benchmark scores in both Antutu and Quadrant. Numbers don't really matter, but most importantly, the phone hasn't failed us a single day and is the best performing Android flagship that we have used to date. Despite having a similar 2600 mAh battery like its predecessor, battery life on the One M8 is surprisingly better and is able to last us one full working day with auto-sync enabled, Google Now, 3 email accounts, few sessions of music and video streaming, 4 to 5 phone calls in a day, and lots of instant messaging, which we consider it quite a heavy usage. Thanks to the Snapdragon 801 CPU that features quick charge technology, the One M8 charges rapidly if you happen to run out of juice. The One M8 features an extreme power saving mode that will attempt to conserve every drop of your battery life by conserving CPU usage and only allowing essential apps to run. The phone's chassis gets extremely hot when under extreme usage. Call quality is excellent thanks to HTC Sense Voice, which callers reported a crystal clear voice quality from our end. HTC has once again produced an iconic and legendary flagship that will make its competitors jealous and start their photocopiers. No one has ever achieved hardware engineering that is on par with the HTC One M8. The ultra pixel camera isn't exactly bad, but we could really appreciate a higher picture resolution. There's one thing that HTC can really do some improvement: the One M8's terrible marketing effort, which consumers aren't really educated on what's great about the phone. The One M8 retails at 2399 ringgit with telco contract plans available. This is a flagship that we highly recommend to anyone who wants a great looking smartphone with no compromises in everyday performance. We rate the HTC One M8 at 4.5 out of 5 stars. Folks, this is the HTC One M8 and thank you very much for watching this video review. Do check out our site at KLGadgetGuy.com for the full text review as well as camera samples from the One M8's ultra pixel camera. So if you like what you saw, do give us a thumbs up as well and leave comments down below if you have any questions on the HTC One M8. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media. I'm Warren and I'll see you next time in our next episode of Gadget Review. That's it for today and thank you very much for watching.